How you doing? This is Aquarius Paint, and you're watching my Q&A video.
They never knew, no, never knew, no, they never knew,
I've always been a very big movie buff. Like, I just love movies, like movies that can go back to the 60s all the way until yesterday. I just love movies. And not only just watching them for entertainment, but I've always watched them like from different angles and perspectives to understand them more. And I've seen so many different changes in how movies are done, from found footage movies to movies shot in black and white, and movies just shot in a very different method. For me, so many movies have inspired me to learn a lot more about acting and directing. And to be an actor is someone portraying a vision for sure. Yeah, I feel like it's definitely someone in a place where you're, of course, the word portraying the vision, while the director is the visionary of the entire thing. And I feel like I do place myself in the visionary path, but I do feel myself as someone who portrays that vision as well. And for the longest time, I could never see myself just trying to be an actor, because it's always been something that just bothered me, because I always felt like I wasn't good enough, or I wasn't going to be good enough. But I mean, as of recent years, I put a lot of my efforts into honing that craft and learning a lot more about directing, and pretty much putting a lot of myself into the actual art of acting and directing. And it's definitely not easy, because, like, I mean, there's going to be a lot of things that people say about you. There are going to be people who are critical of everything you do, everything that you say, any look that you make. So I think that I'm just so focused on learning from experience and honing that craft the right way, because I haven't gone to school for acting or anything. I've never gone to school for directing or anything of that nature. So it definitely puts me in a place where I want to learn more, but at the same time, I want to be open to experience to learn from that as well. So hearing from someone else is definitely one of my things, but experiencing my own failures and experiencing my own triumphs is definitely something I want to learn from. That's what inspired my passion.
never knew, no, they never knew,
I think the thing I love most about it is that it's a very amazing art form. Like, I mean, there's so many people who just love movies, like people who cherish movies till the day they die. And those are people who are just entertained by them. Like, the people who are actually in the art form of making those movies. It's such an influential thing to their lives. Some people, one movie could save their lives, and you know, I think that that's one of the things I love most about it, is that the art form of it's so intellectual and just so deep and so ambitious about the process of making it, but also the process of being entertained by it. And every day I always look at it like, man, like these movies, it's just a crazy thing. And for me, I'm only getting started in this thing. I only started shooting my own short films last year, and to learn so much from my own process, it made me love it even more. I was like, okay, I could have done that better. I could have done this better. I could have shot this from a different angle. And, that experience just made me just love it more, because I was like, you know what? It's showing me what I did wrong, or what I felt I can do better. And it just made me love acting and directing even more, because it shows that, your potential is one place, and what you're doing is a completely another one. I mean, what you're doing could be here, but your potential could be way above anything you could see at the moment. And that's definitely one of the most. Definitely one of the most important aspects that I love about it.
me, oh my, we've been moving, I've been mobbing for some time, yeah, don't switch no sides, yeah, that's suicide.
The idea of twins kind of came out of nowhere. I mean, I've always thought of myself of, all right, what if one day I could make a movie, but what would it be about? I've always had that thought, like, what would it be about? And I had another question. I was like, what if there were two of me? So I've always tried to put myself in, like, there's two different kinds of me, two different sides of me. Some people see me one way, some people see me completely the other. So the idea of twins came more from a side of me that I never thought about, which was, more the loner side of me when I was in college. You know, because I was a single guy most of the time in college, and also another side of me was when I was in the military. So I think that I took that side of me and I made this the character of with my real name actually. I made the character Jay, who was pretty much just me, but the loner alone side of me, with no kids, no wife, don't talk to people, don't even talk to his family. So and I think that the idea of Trey himself is more the different family guy side of me. The guy who do anything to protect his family, the guy who didn't go to the military, the guy who didn't go to college, and is a completely different person than his brother. So I don't want to tell too much because part two is gonna explain a little bit more than I put in the first one. But yeah, the idea of how that went out, it just came more from if there was two sides of you, how would they be, who would they be, and what would they do. So I just took the loner side of me and the family guy side of me, and I made them brothers, just to show the similarities between them, but also show the really big differences.
That's word to Jordan and Ali. Ali, they out here looking like I'm crazy. Oh me, oh my, we been moving, I've been mobbing for some time, yeah.
If I could work with any director, it would be James Wan. He is my all-time favorite director, and he's such an inspiration because the way he started, he pretty much started and shot his first film in one room, and it's crazy. From that one film, started the Saw franchise, and he just boosted from there. He's the Saw franchise, and then he went to the Conjuring franchise. Insidious was there, and then he showed he's not a one-trick pony because he shot Furious 7, and then he shot Aquaman. And that was one of the biggest highlights of Aquaman, was definitely the directing, because it showed that even though it's a superhero film, it showed horror elements in there. And I feel like James Wan is definitely a new master of horror because rest in peace to Wes Craven and George A. Romero. Those were two masters of horror, and I feel like James Wan is definitely a new master of it, and he's shown that he definitely has an eye for horror. And but the thing about it is, like, seeing those other movies he filmed shows his versatility, and I love the fact that he showed that. And he's definitely one big inspiration to me because my first short film I ever shot was a horror film, and Twins is, I'd say, more of an action film that I haven't really put too much action in just yet. And another film I'm going to shoot is going to be more of a psychological thriller. So I definitely want to show my versatility just like he did. I don't want to stick to one franchise. Nothing. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but I definitely want to show my versatility to show that, I can handle anything that's being thrown at me or anything that I take on.
When the light hits, the mood switch. I'm just trying to figure out your circuits. It's the circus. Try not to fall.
My favorite actors are Will Smith, Sam Jackson, Gary Oldman, Noomi Rapace, and Chadwick Boseman. Those are my 5 favorite actors. If I could work with any actors, it would have to be those 5. And I put that out there because I feel like working with Sam Jackson or someone like Will Smith or Gary Oldman, Chadwick Boseman, or Noomi Rapace, I feel like it's definitely would definitely make me push myself to a higher level of work, because those are people who work extremely hard. But if I can work with any 5 actors, it would be those 5, because I feel like they're all amazing.
When the light hits, the mood switch. I'm just trying to figure out your circuits. It's a circus. Try not to fall quick.
Stay focused and, just follow it. Staying focused is something you should do while you follow your dreams, but, like, you should definitely, follow them. Anything you want to be career-wise, get out there and do it. Like, if you want to be an actor or director, get out there and find some things to do. Get out there and find some short films to star in. Move to California and star in some movies. Like, start your own company. Like, do what you got to do. For me, it took a lot for me to even want to put my passion out there, because for the longest time I thought about being an actor and director, but I just didn't have that kind of drive to put it out there to start it. And I knew that I needed to use my resources and use anything that I knew could help me to get to that point. And, you know, I was like, well, if I can't find anyone to help me do it or anyone to, show me the ropes, I guess I'll show myself. So, I mean, I've been doing my research. I bought my own camera and my own camera stand. I bought my own green screen. I bought my own things, I've invested in my own resources because I'm passionate about this kind of thing, I love it that much. So for me to go forward with it is definitely not easy. I will say that the one piece of advice I give you, it's not going to be easy because you're going to hit every speed bump, every reason to quit, and every reason to think that you can't do it. But if you want it, that's all you need to know. How bad you want it is going to be how much you continue. So for me, I don't want to stop this. I want this to be something that I can be proud of. And I can only be proud of it as if I keep going. If I quit, I'm not going to be proud of anything I did. So, yeah, anything I did prior to quitting, like any short film, anything I bought, anything I invested my energy into, I'm not going to be proud of it. I'm just going to look at it like, what a waste. So I feel like the idea to it is more about what do you want? Once you answer that question, how bad do you want it? And then the last question is going to be, what are you going to do to get to it? Those are only 3 questions you need to ask yourself. What do you want? How bad do you want it? What you going to do to get to it? It's up to you. So...
You been calling, I've been blocking, I've been dodging the text. You always said I'm nonchalant, I just won't deal with the stress. But listen, if you die right now, that would be crazy. But if you die right now, that wouldn't faze me. In the beginning, things were golden. Now you can't call me up when you wanna. I wanna hold up, I wanna pull up. When I'm around you, there's a chip on my shoulder. When I'm around you, I'm in danger, misery. This has gotten bad between you and me, and I can't